down. Okay, after that we'll be unlatching the hood of the truck. All right, once we've got the hood of the truck open, we'll begin our engine compartment inspection. As I approach the front of the vehicle, I'm going to look underneath for any signs of leaks. I'm going to come around to the passenger side of the vehicle. On the passenger side of the vehicle, I'm going to begin looking at my passenger side general hoses, make sure they're properly mounted, secured at both ends, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and they're not leaking. Look at my belt-driven alternator. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. All the wires are connected. The belt's not cracked or frayed, and there's between 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of free play. Now I'm going to proceed around to the driver's side of the vehicle. I'm going to take a look at my driver's side general hoses. Make sure they're properly mounted, secured at both ends, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and they're not leaking. My coolant reservoir, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking, filled to the manufacturer's specifications. My belt-driven water pump, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. The belt's not cracked or frayed. There's between 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of free play. My power steering fluid, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking and filled to the manufacturer's specifications. My oil is filled to manufacturer's specifications, checked with the dipstick. Okay, my gear-driven air compressor is tucked away back here. It is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and not leaking. My gear-driven power steering pump right in front of it, also properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and not leaking. Okay, my gearbox and hoses, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts on the hoses. Steering linkage, okay, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. There are no missing castle nuts or cotter pins. My shock absorber, properly mounted, secured at both ends, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. My spring hangers, front and rear, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. My spring arm, properly mounted, secured at both ends, not cracked, bent, or broken. My U-bolts, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's none missing. My brake hose, properly mounted, secured at both ends, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and not leaking. My brake chamber, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. My slack adjuster and push rod, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. With the brakes released and pulled by hand, the push rod should not move more than 1 inch. My brake drum, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. My brake lining, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no oil or debris, and the friction material is not worn dangerously thin. My tire, there's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts to the tread or sidewalls. Tread depth no less than 4/32 of an inch, and it's properly filled to manufacturer's specifications, checked with an air gauge. My rim, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. There are no unauthorized welds. My lug nuts, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. None are missing. No rust trails or powder residue, no cracks around the bolt holes. My hub seal, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking, and it's properly filled to manufacturer's specifications. That concludes my engine compartment. All right, now I'm going to proceed with the driver's side door and fuel area. To begin with, the mirror, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it's clean. My door seals and hinges, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It opens, closes, and latches properly, and the seals are not worn or dry rotted. Fuel tank and cap, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking from both the tank and the cap is on tight. Now I'm going to proceed to my exhaust. Okay, right back here, my exhaust, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. There are no signs of leaks. Catwalk and steps, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, clear of any loose objects. Drive shaft, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. The U-joints are free of debris. It's not twisted. Frame and cross members, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No unauthorized holes or welds, and no missing cross members. Okay, torque arm, properly mounted, secured at both ends, not cracked, bent, or broken. My spring hanger, both front and rear, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. Spring arm, properly mounted, secured at both ends, not cracked, bent, or broken. U-bolts, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. None are missing. Shock absorber, properly mounted, secured at both ends, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. Airbag, properly mounted, secured at both ends, not cracked, bent, or broken. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts. No missing mounting bolts, and not leaking air. My brake hose, properly mounted, secured at both ends. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts, not leaking. Brake chamber, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. Slack adjuster and push rod, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. With the brakes released and pulled by hand, the push rod should not move more than 1 inch. Brake drum, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. Brake lining, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No oil or debris, and the friction material is not worn dangerously thin. Tire, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts to the tread or sidewalls. Tread depth no less than 2/32 of an inch. Properly filled to manufacturer specifications, checked with an air gauge. Rim, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No unauthorized welds. Lug nuts, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. None missing. No rust trails or powder residue, and no cracks around the bolt holes. My axle seal, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No missing mounting bolts, not leaking, and filled to the manufacturer's specifications. Okay. Mud flap, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. And this concludes my driver's side door fuel area. All right, now I'm going to proceed with the trailer portion of the inspection. Okay, I'm going to start with the bulkhead, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no holes or missing rivets. My frame and cross members, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no missing cross members. Landing gear, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, in the fully raised position, and the crank handle secure in the cradle. Okay, now I'm going to take a look at my frame and tandem release. Properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. Both the release handle and the locking pins are in the fully locked position. Okay, my spring hanger, properly mounted, secured, both front and rear, not cracked, bent, or broken. Spring arm, properly mounted, secured at both ends, not cracked, bent, or broken. Okay, my shock absorber, properly mounted, secured at both ends, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. Airbag, properly mounted, secured at both ends, not cracked, bent, or broken. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts. No missing mounting bolts, and not leaking air. Brake hose, properly mounted, secured at both ends, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and not leaking. Brake chamber, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. My slack adjuster and push rod, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. With the brakes released and pulled by hand, the push rod shouldn't move more than 1 inch. Okay. Take a look at my brake drum. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. My brake lining, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No oil or debris, and the friction material is not worn dangerously thin. Right. I'll come out and take a look at the rest. Tire, there's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts to the tread or sidewalls. Tread depth no less than 2/32 of an inch, and properly filled to manufacturer specifications, checked with an air gauge. Okay. My rim, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No unauthorized welds. Lug nuts, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. None missing. No rust trails or powder residue, and no cracks around the bolt holes. My wheel seal, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking, and filled to the manufacturer's specifications. Okay. My mud flap, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. I'll come around and take a look at my doors. Properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. Opens, closes, latches properly. The seals are not worn or dry rotted, and my hinges are good. And this finishes up my trailer section. All right, now we're going to proceed with the coupling section. First, I'm going to check my electric line. It's prop mount secured at both ends. There's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and no exposed wires. My air lines, prop mount secured at both ends, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and not leaking. My glad hands, prop mount secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. The glad hand seals are not worn or dry rotted, and they're not leaking air. My trailer apron, prop mount secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no visible gap between my apron and my skid plate. Skid plate, properly mounted secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, is properly lubed. Now we'll go under. All right, my kingpin, properly mounted secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. My locking jaw, properly mounted secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it's fully locked around the kingpin. My release arm and safety latch, properly mounted secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's in the fully locked position. Platform, properly mounted secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. Mounting bolts, properly mounted secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and none missing. My sliding fifth wheel and locking pin, properly mounted secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, in the fully locked position. And the airline is properly mounted secured at both ends, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and not leaking. I'm going to check the clearance between my mud flap and landing gear to make sure there's proper space between them and they don't hit each other while making turns. All right, and this completes my coupling section. Now I'm going to proceed with my light inspection. Mr. Examiner, I'm going to check all my lights, reflectors, reflective tape the same way. They're properly mounted secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, clean and illuminated, and the proper color of amber to the front and the sides and red to the rear. Before I begin, I'm going to make sure and turn my lights on. Okay. I'm going to check my clearance lights, both marker lights, and my headlights. A marker light, a clearance light, reflective tape down the side of the trailer. Got reflective tape on my mud flap, tail lights, and reflectors on the frame. Got a marker light. Got a marker light, my ABS light. Got clearance lights, tail lights, reflective tape on the door and the bumper. Marker light, reflective tape running down the side of the trailer. Marker light. Reflective tape, tail lights, and reflectors. Got a clearance light and a marker light. Mr. Examiner, could you please help me with my 5x5? I'm going to check my 5 functions in my 5 locations. My 5 functions, my left turn signal, right turn signal, my 4-way flashers, high beams, and brake lights. 5 locations: the front of the truck, both sides of the truck, the rear of the truck, both sides of the trailer, and the rear of the trailer. Could you please help me? I'm going to check my left turn signal, right turn signal, 4-way flashers, my high beams, and my brake lights. All right, and this concludes my light inspection. All right, now I'm going to perform my in-cab inspection. First, I'm going to check my seat belt, make sure it's properly mounted and secured. It's not ripped or frayed. It adjusts and latches properly. My fire extinguisher, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, fully charged. I have 3 red reflective triangles underneath the bunk, and my spare electrical fuses are in the glove box. I'm going to perform a safe start. First, I'm going to put in my alarm code. I'm going to turn the key to the on position, make sure my ABS lights come on and off. Make sure I'm in neutral, apply the brake, and start the engine. Okay. I'm going to check my windshield and mirrors. Make sure they're properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. They're clean, no obstructions, and my mirrors are adjusted to me. Then check my voltmeter. The alternator's charging between 13 to 14 volts. My oil pressure is rising up to normal operating range. My water temperature is rising up to normal operating range. And my air pressure is rising up to the governor cutout between 120 and 125 psi. Check my lighting indicators, my left turn signal indicator, my right turn signal indicator, my high beam indicator, and my 4-way indicator. Check my heat and defrost. Turn to defrost and floor. Turn my fan on. I'm going to make sure the defrost is blowing by the windshield. I'm going to make sure my heat's blowing from down below. Check my city horn and my air horn. Now I'm going to perform an air brake test. I've already chalked the tires, and so I'm going to release both brakes. I'm going to turn the truck off and turn the key back to the on position. Okay, stage 1, the applied pressure test. I'm going to apply a hard brake, and I'm going to wait for the gauges to stabilize. I'm going to hold this hard brake for 1 minute. During that time, make sure I don't lose more than 4 psi while listening for leaks. And now that my gauges have stabilized, Mr. Examiner, could you please start my time? All right. I did not lose more than 4 psi. Next, I'm going to pump down on the brakes until my warning light and buzzer come on at or before 60 psi. Okay, my warning light and buzzer came on. Finally, I'm going to pump down on the brakes until both my trailer valve and my tractor valve pop out between 40 to 20 psi. All right, both my valves have popped out. That concludes my air brakes. Now I'm going to restart the vehicle. And as I let the vehicle regain air pressure, I'm going to go remove my wheel chocks. All right, I'm going to continue to rebuild my air pressure. Now that my air pressure has reached governor cutout once again, now I'm going to perform a parking brake check. First, I'm going to release my tractor brakes, apply my trailer brakes, put the vehicle in drive. I'm going to give a light tug on my trailer's brakes. Okay, trailer brakes held. Now I'm going to apply my tractor brake, release my trailer brakes. I'm going to give a light tug on my tractor. Okay, my tractor brakes held. Now I'm going to release both sets of brakes. I'm going to pull forward to 5 miles per hour, apply the brake pedal, make sure it comes to a smooth stop and the truck doesn't pull left or right. Okay, The truck did not pull left or right. This concludes my in-cab inspection. All right, folks, I hope you've enjoyed watching this informational video as you get ready to take the Missouri CDL exam. I hope this helps to equip you to do well on this pre-trip inspection. Folks, have a great day.